your honorable sensei, and across from me,
the vicious scumbag.
And together we are
Longturnlarry Podcast.
And today we got Hearthhull, the Worldseed. This is the World Shaper Precon for Edge of Eternity. Before we get started, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe. Please check out our Patreon because I don't want to be poor forever.
And always look at the Moxfield for those amazing deck techs.
Ooh. So what does Herschel Walker do? It's a spacecraft we can play vehicles / spacecrafts in the command zone. It is a 1 in Jun for a legendary artifact spacecraft. It has station. You can tap another creature you control, put charge counters equal to its power on this space station only as a sorcery. It is a artifact creature at 8+ counters. At 2 counters and above, it gets pay 1 and tap this, sacrifice a land, draw 2 cards. You may play an additional land this turn. Ooh.
Super good.
And then at 8+ counters, it gets flying, vigilance, and haste, and is a 6/7 and says, whenever you sacrifice a land, each opponent loses 2 life. Oh! Damn!
Exactly. We drop shipping our little eggs down onto the planet.
Drop ship.
So what are we doing with this gigantic Jund spacecraft? We're here to absolutely annihilate our friends' lands. We're going to be hurting our own, removing theirs, and just beating them down with this war of attrition. We've kind of gotten into this trope of giving you guys really mean decks. So this is definitely going to be a fun one. If you guys don't like land destruction, too bad. We're here to colonize your planet. Take us to your leader. So we got some actually good, new, unique cards. Most of the time when we talk about these precons and new sets, the precons normally have, some cool uniques. And me and Honorable are always hard pressed to take them out. But these ones were actually pretty good. So there are 11 new cards and we only removed 1 of them. We have Baloth Prime. 3 generic and a green for a beast 10/10. This thing enters tapped with 6 stun counters on it, so it does have to untap itself after a while. But it states whenever you sacrifice a land, create a 4/4 beast creature token and untap this creature. And then for 4 generic, you can sack a land and gain 2 life. This is just doing everything we're after. We're going to be eating our own lands, and the fact that this just gets to untap and now is like a 4-drop Galta that also acts like a rampaging Baloth. Yeah, Baloth Prime, that is definitely a perfect name for this.
Even Do the Brush Razor is 2 generic and a red for an Insect Warrior 2/2. Whenever you sacrifice a non-token permanent, exile the top card of your library during each of your turns. As long as you sacrifice a non-land permanent this turn, you may play cards exiled with this card. And you could tap, sacrifice a land, add 2 red. Ooh.
Oh yeah, we're going to keep eating our lands and beating them to death. Another awesome spacecraft. I was telling Honorable I wish this was legendary. We have Exploration Brood Ship. For just a green, you get a artifact spacecraft with station, of course. After it has had 3 or more station counters placed on it, it will allow you to play an additional land on each of your turns. This is a flying Azusa. And then after it has 8 or more counters on it, it then gains flying, becomes a 4/4, and states once during each of your turns, you may cast a permanent spell from your graveyard by sacrificing a land in addition to paying its other costs. Yeah, for just a green, I understand that there's a little work we got to do to make it, an actual creature, but mercy, that is a very strong effect.
Broken. Horizon Explorer. 2 generic and a green for a 2/4 Insect Scout. It has lands you control enter untapped. Ooh.
Chef's kiss.
And then it says, whenever you attack a player, create a lander token. What is a lander token? It's an artifact with 2 generic and tap. Sacrifice this token, search your library for a basic land, and put onto the battlefield tapped. then shuffle.
I cannot believe that we now have, who cares about foods and treasures and blood and clues? No. We got moonlanders. We got colonizing moonlanders. Yes.
I don't like this.
I'm just saying, the bugs will be your new overlords. We have Scouring Swarm. For a generic black and a green, we get a 1/1 insect, a flying boog, and it says whenever you sacrifice a land, create a tap token that's a copy of this creature if 7 or more land cards are in your graveyard. Otherwise, you just create a tapped 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. This is a new version, if you will, of Scoot Swarm that is just really good, except it wants things in your graveyard, not in play.
Weird. This is the final creature among the new cards. We have Sazrael Genesis Shepherd. Said it right on the first time. Ooh. 2 generic and Jund for Insect Druid 2/5. It is flying. You may play lands from your graveyard. Whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to its power on up to one other target creature. Jesus Christ, that was hard.
Yeah, that was very badly worded. I don't know why Genesis Shepherd's wording is so bad.
AI wrote this shit.
Yeah, it does. Whenever you sack something, put counters equal power on other. Like, so much easier.
I actually lied. There is one more creature, but he got the chopping block. So get this mug out of here. It's a Muradin Wastewaker, 2 generic black for Insect Cleric 4/4. Whenever this creature attacks you and defending player, each discard a card or sacrifice a permanent. You draw a card for each land card put in the graveyard this way, and that's Encore for 6 generic black. Boo, this card sucks.
Yeah. Boo. Insect Cleric is very weird. I could not imagine a giant praying mantis trying to help me. Oh, get it? A praying mantis?
I hate myself.
It's okay. We do have a new sorcery. I was sad we didn't get more, but this one is absolutely devastating. Get it? It's Planetary Annihilation. For 3 generic red, we get a sorcery that states each player chooses 6 lands they control and then sacrifices the rest. It's a keyword we're very happy with. Planetary Annihilation deals 6 damage to each creature afterwards. That is awesome. We get to blow up a bunch of lands, and then we're going to get huge benefit from this. They're going to take damage from all the other lands being destroyed. If they're ahead, they get hurt more, and then we get to technically board wipe as long as things aren't too gigantic.
Wizards are cowards. It should have just been each player sacrifices 6 lands.
It definitely should have been.
Cowards! We have 3 new lands. The first one is Emudian Hatchery. You can tap it, pay 1 life, add a black to put a hatchling counter on this land, and when you sacrifice it or put it into a graveyard from the battlefield, for each counter on it, create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. Cool.
The thing is so gross. Look at all the eggs on the ground. Ew, I'm not a fan of this art.
I don't like it. Ew. And then we added 2 more cards to 2 existing cycles. So we have Festering Thicket, which is a land with the Swamp Forest type. And it says this land enters tapped, and you can cycle it for 2. Woo! We have Vernal Fen. This land enters tapped and lets you control 2 or more basics.
Just another lovely swamp forest extra typing. Never mad that we're getting more of these. And honestly, the land base of this precon was pretty good.
It's okay. It's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm. It came with some good lands. And the EOE set has got a lot of good land reprints. Speaking of good reprints, there are some very nice reprints in this. So we're going to cover the notable reprints here. These are all reprints that are at least going to be like $5 or more. These, I'm very surprised that some of these are being in here. We have Aftermath Analyst. For generic and a green, we get an elf detective that enters and makes us mill 3 cards. And then for 3 generic and a green, we can sacrifice it to return all land cards from our graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It's just an easy 1/3. It has a self-sacrifice. This is just like a better version of World Shaper, which isn't in the deck because it doesn't have a self-sacrifice.
I call it After Anal Mastist.
Oh my goodness. I need to hurt myself, please.
In the worst way possible, so I can get these lands.
I need it, please. It's for my property value.
We got Braids Worldseed's Arisen Nightmare. Great card.
Alicia Keys, so good.
God, Eternal Bantu.
Korvald, Fakehurst King.
Jesus Christ, this card is like $15.
Yeah, I am so surprised that this was in here. On that same vein, Mazarek Cruel Death Priest, another one that was easily $6 to $10. It's just awesome. And we're sacking a ton of stuff, so this will easily work.
And it's a bug.
It's a boog.
Morag, Fury of Akum. We need more combat steps. More.
Give it to us. Oracle of Moldiah. We love off the top and we love extra lands.
This thing needs to be reprinted to the ground to the point where it's like $2.
At least. Yeah, definite. $7 is not cheap.
Splendid Reclamation. It's just like one of the 2 cards you need for any landfall deck.
Yeah.
They need to reprint Skate Shift. Is it Skate Shift?
Yeah, where you sack everything and then you go hunt. Yeah, Skate Shift, Splendid Wreck, Aftermath, World Shaper. Any of those effects, any and all of them could easily deserve a reprint.
Yeah, we always get the Splendid Wreck effect on creatures, but we never get the Skate Shift. Give us Skate Shift. Don't lie to me.
Don't lie to me. And my favorite frog, the Gitrog. I'm so happy to see this thing. And it's in a deck that it actually is going to perform really well in. Now, on to the things that were removed.
We hate these cards.
Yeah, these cards just either are just strictly weaker than other things we're putting in, or they're trying to follow a different vein that we're really not after. I mean, we don't want to be so landfall heavy that we kind of lose track of what we're doing. We have Augur of Autumn, which is just a weaker version of Oracle of Moldiah, in my opinion, and just we can get away with other effects that do this exact same thing. Centaur Vinecrasher. That's another one that's kind of a newer card. It's not bad. 3 generic and a green for a 1/1 plant Centaur. It enters, gets counters equal to lands and graveyard. Then when a land goes in the graveyard, you can recur this thing for green. Like, we get it. It totally works with landfall stuff, but it's just not good. It's a 4-drop 1/1 that if you're not set up for, it kind of doesn't have much behind it. So get out.
I don't like plants with legs.
That's right. You stay in the ground.
Just like Groundkeeper. Useless card. Like,
yeah.
No. At no point in time, no. Jury Master of the Review is not a bad card.
No, not bad at all.
Just not what we want for this deck. We're not doing enough sacrificing that Jury's really gonna pop off.
Yeah, he is a great card, but yeah, we're not doing enough. We're not like a treasure token deck or an aristocrat deck. Lonecrafter Fawn. Also, not a bad card. This thing isn't horrible. It's very similar to like a spring drum druid, but it's not really what we're after necessarily because it's discarding. It's not sacking the land, so it's like a weird not harrow, and we really could use better effects.
It's like a dumb Eternal Witness.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Rampaging Baloffs, just like Jury. This is a great card. It's just a little steep for what we're trying to do, and we get it. We are going to be playing extra lands. We are a lands matters per se deck, but we're not so heavy into it that we're going to be focusing solely on getting this out and then playing it. We're trying to kill lands. So we're more like we're going to keep playing them. So it doesn't really fit necessarily what we're after.
Cedar Wayfinder, we're not a mill deck. We're not self-mill. We don't need this. Sprouting Goblin, not a bad card, just not what we're trying to do.
It's a very creepy artwork.
I don't like it.
Yeah, that makes me a little crawly.
Tireless Tracker, I'm getting tired of them putting this card in. Put the Provisioner in here, okay?
Yeah, we were talking
Stop
about
playing with my emotions.
Give us the other half. And then a frog that didn't meet the cut. We got Spawn of Turg. He's not bad per se. Again, it's got a good sack trigger and it lets us put things in the grave, but we're not a self-millie deck, and this wants it to be more of a self-mill feel. And Worldbreaker, we love Eldrazi, and EOE definitely, made some cool Eldrazi effects, but for a 7-drop, that's just going to, get rid of something and then we can sack something to bring it back. Like, again, we're not a self-mill. This is like Centaur Vinecrasher, but it's a 5/7.
I think this is in here for flavor because it's Worldbreaker and it's an Eldrazi.
Oh my goodness. Wizards, if that is true, shame on you.
If that's true, Wizards, good job.
Don't you give them compliments. So we took out some stuff. Those are the creatures that we took out. So now let's talk about the things that we actually want to go over. These are some good, awesome cards. And remember, Larry, that we took out one unique. Don't worry, we got you back on another. We got 12 solid upgrades here, starting with Tanuk Memorial Ensign. For generic red-green, we get a Kavu Pilot, legendary creature here, new creature type. It's a 2/4 with landfall, and it states whenever a land you control enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And if this is the second time this is resolved, draw a card. We love this. This is just, we're going to get extra card draw. Instead of it being target opponent, we're doing each. And then it doesn't really have like a limitation to this. It just, we're going to keep hitting people constantly.
Just like Sabo Tender. It does the exact same things if you don't draw a card when the second time this is resolved, but we needed more of these effects.
Mm-hmm. Look at that happy cactus throwing spines everywhere.
Now, this unhappy cactus called Obnixilis the Fallen.
You are an unhappy cactus,
He is very unhappy. Whenever a land enters, we're going to have target player lose 3 life, and he's going to get 3 counters. So he's going to get big. He's going to station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an easy creature to help us with that station requirement. Also, I hate the wording. If you do, when would I not do this? I'm always going to hurt someone.
If you put a counter on a creature, you get 3 infect. That's why.
Please don't hurt me.
Please don't hurt me, dog.
Now, remember we talked about that Scourging Swarm? Well, we got to have the ground equivalent. So we got the Scoop Boy. I was surprised this did not come in the deck already. 2 generic and a green for everyone's favorite 1/1 insect. When a land enters, you get a bug. If you have 6 or more lands, instead, make a Scoot. This just gets exponentially large, and then eventually you have a board in the box with you just playing lands.
Gross.
Bugs. Yeah, this is like my local apartment. It's beautiful. Just tons of bugs.
That's
please,
nasty.
Please help me. Please subscribe.
Blossoming Tortoise, he loves lands. When he enters or attacks, we're going to mill 3 cards and we return a land from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. And then we have 2 irrelevant text boxes.
Yeah. The rest of the turtle doesn't matter.
Who cares?
In the same vein of let's get a little bit more mana coming around, we got 2 solid includes here. We have Lotus Cobra. This is if you've never seen this card, it is every landfall's favorite pet snake. Whenever a land enters, you get a mana. Please do not forget to use this, and please do not forget that trigger. I see that happen a lot, but Lotus Cobra is going to help us mana fix. And then Orcish Lumberjack kind of goes in the opposite direction. For just a red, you get an orc that has tap, sacrifice a forest to add 3 mana and any combination of red or green. That is a huge trade-off. And then the tortoise is happy because now he has a land for us to go fetch back. And then when it comes in, Lotus Cobra gives us more mana. So we can easily get 4 mana or more without trying too terribly hard.
Yeah, we've already mentioned that tireless provision. You know he's here.
He's so tired. Not really. He's tireless. He'd be up all night.
Kevin Gates, I don't get tired.
I don't get tired. We have Drake's favorite tree folk. 2 generic and a green for a 2/4 tree folk with reach. Whenever it attacks, much like the tortoise, we're going to mill 3 cards. They may put a land card from among them into your hand. That is awesome. Its second effect isn't bad. As long as it's your turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace. You may cast them by discarding a land in addition to their other costs. We wish it was sacrifice, but we're always...
No, I wish it was retrace, and it is.
I take everything back.
If your opponent takes this card and it's now upside down, is it a 9 now?
It becomes an owl instead of a tree folk.
Geode Rager will definitely make your friends and your enemies mad as hell. When a land enters under your control, goad each creature target player controls.
Now, remember, that key word that we're after here, Larry, is sacrifice. We love the idea of sacrificing. That's going to help us with that, 2 damage to each opponent here. So we have Sylvan Safekeeper. For just a green, you get a 1/1 human wizard that states sacrifice a land, target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. This is awesome. We're going to protect a bunch of stuff with this, and this is a free land sack outlet. Yes, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
And then finally, Aaron's least favorite card. Summon Titan! High turn.
Bites thumb.
It's a Saga Giant. Reach trample 7/7. First chapter, because it's a saga, you're going to mill 5. Second chapter, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then chapter 3, until end of turn, another target creature you control gains trample and gets +X/+X, where X is the number of lands you control. You could play Lumra in this slot, but Lumra was like $17. Mm-hmm. Eat $2.29.
Yeah, we'll take an under $3 version. It's okay.
It's okay, Zombie.
Get out of here. Now, the removal inside this deck surprisingly wasn't super bad, but there's just a couple in here that are just, and there are a couple of lands that were also in this that were just not good. So to briefly cover the things we removed here, we took out Beast Within. Not really surprising. There are better removals for whatever you need. We don't need to spend 3 mana for it just to be a coverall, and we're okay with them not getting a 3/3 Beast. We also removed Binding of the Old Gods, because out with the old, in with the new layers. Just a saga, it lets you destroy things, go search for a land, and then at the end of, the final one gives you Death Touch. It's not bad, it's just, again, it's 4 mana for something that's going to take 3 turns for this whole effect to go through, and there's just better alternatives that we could use for this.
Hey, don't talk mad shit about sagas. We just added one.
We did, but this one isn't as beneficial.
I prefer the New Testament binding.
Binding of the New God.
Escape the Wilds is a really good card. I just don't want it. We could do better.
Yeah, it's steep. 5 mana is a little expensive for it. And we have great card draw, so we don't really need the, exile top 5 to try to get it in.
And I don't know what the hell this is. Formless Genesis, 2 generic and a green.
It's gross.
For a Kindred Sorcery Shapeshifter. Ugh, this card is just nasty. It's a changeling. I don't know how a sorcery is a changeling. Create an XX colorless shapeshifter token with changeling and Death Touch, where X is the number of land cards in your graveyard. It has retrace. No.
It's very hard to look at. And then they put Knight's Whisper in here. Okay, cool. It's card draw, but we have so much better and repeatable ways to get card draw. We don't need a 2-drop, draw 2 cards, and hurt myself thinking about rings. Okay, we don't need that.
Maybe this is in here for flavor because it's Knight's Whisper space.
If they put Frodo and Bilbo in space, I'll watch. Okay.
We removed 4 lands, Daknor Salvage, Mountain Valley, Rocktar Pit, and a Waste. We don't need that Waste because we don't have a dumb Eldrazi in our deck.
Yeah, you heard it here first. We don't like you. Just kidding. Azlask, we love you.
I don't like you.
Now, we took out those 9 cards, so let's get into the upgrades. This deck did not have almost any board wipes in it. Like, shame. Come on. It needs at least 2. At least, okay? I don't know why it only had a board wipe. So we have Chain Reaction. 2 generic red for a sorcery that states it deals X damage to each creature where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. We love the idea of ripping everybody down to the very bottom, and then we're going to rebuild way faster than they're going to.
Culling Ritual destroys each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. We're going to add black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Destructive Force. Now, this is a real ass card.
Yes.
5 generic red for a sorcery. Each player sacrifices 5 lands. It deals 5 damage to each creature. We could cast this on turn 6 or turn 5. Hose our opponents. This is the type of Magic I'm trying to play.
Yeah, back in 2011, they were about to smoke, okay? And I'm very happy that they were. Also, Toxic Deluge. We just need ways to continually destroy the board and get around pesky, indestructible, and other evasion. 2 generic and a black for a sorcery that says additional cost, pay X life. All creatures get -X/-X. We don't really care too much about the life being taken away. We're just going to set up for hopefully a one-sided board wipe. We did add 2 technical lands that are also removed. We have Fell the Profane, 2 generic black for destroy target creature or planeswalker. Other side comes into play tapped. We're never really going to care, but if we need it, it can be a land.
The other one is Hangry Mauling. I'm going to maul your ass. And on the back end, Hangra Blood Pit, because we mauled your ass. Conduit of Worlds allow us to play lands from our graveyard, and then the second effect says choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as sorcery. Only do this if you're desperate or that card is really good. Kodama's Reach needs to be in here because we want lands in our hand, and it's ramp.
And our final card is Zoran Orb. This is just a perfect Cheerio. It's a lovely 0-drop that has that same effect that Sylvan had earlier before with Sacrifice the Land, except this one allows us to gain 2 life. We love this effect because it's going to be a free land sack outlet, and once our commander has that 8+ effect, this can easily be able to kill the rest of our opponents.
That's the deck, man. The rest of these cards are pretty decent. You can do some more cutting if you want to lean more to sacrificing more lands. You could play fetches, you could play Urborg, you could get Yavi Maya.
Or you could go more towards the self-mill strat too. And then some of those other cards we removed might make a little more sense. But it does have good bones. I have to admit, it does.
It's a landfall, dog. This shit ain't hard.
Yeah, how bad could it really be?
There's somebody out there with a terrible landfall deck.
Yeah, it's running 25 lands.
But if I hit the lands, I don't need that many.
Yeah, it's all landfall creatures with no lands. And a bunch of mana rocks. Larry's, we hope that you guys love and continue to see these wonderful decks we're putting out for you guys. EOE or Edge of Eternities does look like it's going to be a very cool set. So we can't wait to show you more of the spacecraft and spaceships coming soon.
I like to call it
Yeah, that next set is I am the vicious scumbag. And across from me,
the Honorable Sensei. And together we are
Longturnlarry Podcast.
Bitches.